joined in the commentary box, unfortunately,
Oh,
by the monotonous tones of Velocity.
hello. I'm here all the time.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Oh.
but you know. I'm only joking.
Fucking hell.
As we are now readying up into the lobby. Beefy obviously running away with it this season. Good to see how he gets on next year in with the with the freaks.
Well, I reckon he can pick up a couple of points here and there. It's going to be difficult, but obviously that's the point. Don't want to make it easy.
So happy we get your insight into life.
It's good, isn't it?
It's great, mate. Love it.
Oh dear.
What are your thoughts on Bahrain then?
Hoping for a wet race. Feel like that could really spice things up. Do you know what? I really reckon they should actually maybe do Bahrain when it could rain. See what it does.
Well, I mean, it was actually when they raced here. Back end
this year there was a bit of rain though, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was forecast. It was about, but never kind of materialised, did it?
I wouldn't mind a wet Bahrain. It'd be quite nice.
Oh, I'd hate it. There's going to be no traction. There's no traction at the best of times. I think I'd.
Yeah, but it'd be a bit mental though. You'd see people struggle.
Yeah, but then the stewards would have about a foot long of incidents to go through, so I wouldn't want to be looking at them at all.
Well, last race of season 2, and then 3-week break, and then season 3's on. So it's not too long of a break, really. 18 drivers on the grid. Probably one of the better turnouts we've actually had this season. Surprisingly enough, it's actually the last race of the season.
Definitely. Is it season 3 kind of mixed calendar, or is it official calendar, or what?
Season 3 is a 14 race calendar voted by the drivers on which tracks they would actually prefer to drive. So there has been a vote up, which is closing tomorrow. If they've not got it, obviously they lose their say. They get 3 votes they get 3 track votes, and the 14 highest tracks are obviously the calendar, and then obviously that's just going to be randomised and see it from there. So we won't get any complaining about what tracks are on because they've voted for it.
I still mind.
Oh yeah, of course. But no, we'll get the odd moan, but we shouldn't be getting these horrendous attendances like when you would at Vietnam and stuff like that. That people hate it. But
yeah, I don't get why Vietnam's alright. The tracks for me are like Singapore, where it just ends up becoming an absolute slog.
Vietnam in the rain is a massive one. That can turn into like an hour and a bit race.
Yeah, it can, but they're the sort of races that I do kind of prefer. Well, in a way, if it's a track where I'm happy at and my pace is decent, and I don't mind it being a bit of a slog, but if it's somewhere like Singapore where I'm just dog shit, then I think
that's me in Russia. I can't do Russia.
Really? Russia? Of all tracks?
Yeah.
Russia?
Sochi it's so boring, I can't be bothered to practice it, so that's how it goes for me. I can't do it. My pace is woeful.
Pace is woeful anywhere.
Oh, no, I'm alright around some tracks.
I say that with love.
Oh, thank you.
Someone's got it.
Hilke's actually starting his lap now, so we'll be able to see what he's doing. Obviously, moving down from GP1 because he switched off his line and has lost a hell of a lot of pace, but that's to be expected, and we'll probably see him climb up through the ranks next season anyway, so title contender for me next year.
Yeah, more than likely. Obviously it's a big adjustment trying to, obviously getting the line off and finding the time, but you do lose. But as soon as you kind of get that nailed down, then you will be in a great as Hilke
but he has spun it. Has he still got his wheel? Yeah. He's got away with that one there, really. But Well, he's actually got a full front wing still, which is quite surprising.
Yeah, I don't get that at all. Maz has said Ashwin's joining for the race. They'll have 19.
Oh, that's not bad then. I mean, it's preferable that they're in during qualifying, but I mean...
Hilke's round again. That is
he's
not
not having a good time, is he? To be
to
fair, he doesn't
spin it.
actually like Bahrain. He openly says that a lot, that he hates this track, so... I'm not expecting much from him, as TJ Fairface has full red front wing as well, so the Hasses are having a bit of a nightmare at the moment as well. Someone who has come into this league with a bit of a storm is Gobert Limitless. He's been pretty rapid ever since he's touched this division. Just hasn't been able to put it all together yet.
No, it's probably the hardest thing to do, is trying to hook everything up, and especially when push comes to shove at the back end of Q3 as well. That's where you see he really does have the bottle. He does 25.9, so he's 7 tenths in front of Multi at the moment. And you've got Araberg with a 28.0, so there's got to be some time in that. So Hilke with a 2:09, that was rapid from Hilke.
Well, I think he'll be safe with that, if I'm being honest. But
always.
Mars coming across the line, he's another one that's going to be in GP1 next season, and he's done really well so far, and I'll be interested to see how he can cope actually against some of the big shots, really.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, you know, it's a huge step up, and this is, and, you know, I say that with like no disrespect at all. But in general, it just tends to be a huge step up when you get yourself in that top tier, and you find that it's the best way to learn is to get yourself into that top tier, get battered about for a few races, pick up, and you find your pace effectively. Just because it's the only way that you can. You either get swallowed up or you battle it out.
You've got. The thing is, this Division 1's not no slouch. You got Chapelele, who even makes some of the Division 1 drivers look slow. So it's not an easy place to go to, if I'm being honest. It's a bit like Stoke away, but
and you know, Shap is a different breed. Obviously, that Mexico lap was just something else. But obviously, you did have the likes of Droftas in there. Showed all season how his race avocados put it in a wall. Droftas all season kind of showed that consistency gets you results by winning the GP1 title. And it's all kind of about your teammate as well. You want to have a good kind of friendship with your teammate. So when you're off the track, you know, just if you can get in contact and kind of just speak about how you're getting on with the next race coming up, then that always helps. And Droftas and Alan, I'm in a party chat with both of them quite a lot, and they are both very, very good racers. So that's probably the best thing I'd ever tell anybody is if you're in the top tier, and get onto your teammate.
Yeah, no, I have said many times that Elhan was an incredible rear gunner for Droftas for this season. Even if he didn't come in maybe with the sort of the idea of being Droftas's rear gunner, he ended up being it, didn't he? And did that job well.
Yeah, he does. He always backs up his teammates really well. A race with Alan in a few other leagues, and he's always there or thereabouts.
Putting him on pole.
Yeah, 25.8. It's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna spice up right towards the back end. But on a Wednesday, there's a 100% league that I'm racing him in, and his teammate's Glock, and Glock is rapid. And he always puts his car up there in the top 5, top 6. So they managed to wrap up constructors. On a weekend, his teammates are Paulie Orange and another in LNR, which is just after this. And again, they wrapped up constructors again because Chris is always there. He's always backing up. He's always getting results.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the second driver to an extent is never. I don't think is ever really given the sort of praise it deserves. If I'm being honest, if you got a good, consistent backup, you're gonna do all right.
Oh, definitely, and you know, what I've seen from Orange and Aylin in Eleanor is that, you know, when one's, say you got Aylin in front, they're always looking over their shoulder, just making sure that their strategy's bang on as well. But it's the penalties that gets Aylin good results. He's very rarely gets any, which is key, especially tracks around like
we saw.
If you look at Mexico and USA, two easy tracks.
Well, yeah, we did see that as well with Nolsey in Japan actually.
Yeah.
Moving from I think about P14 up to P3, I think it was, based just through penalties. Bit crazy in that respect, but obviously keeping inside the track limits pays off if you got a late safety car.
Yeah, always. That Japan race in GP1 was mental. And Nosey showed it a couple of times. I think it was Hungary as well that Nosey hopped up to the podium without getting any penalties. So, or less penalties to say. And that is kind of key, especially in league racing with the strict corners as well. It's vital that you keep that car inside those white lines and the best you can. Obviously, with the data, the car will wash out and it will understeer quite a lot, but it's down to the driver to make sure that they combat that.
As we've got Energetics around again, he's having an absolute nightmare at the moment, not enjoying his time at all. But obviously, I think he will put a time representative at some point as well.
I think you'd kind of hope he will. We've got DJ Death Dragon coming up towards the line now. This looks fairly decent. 27-0 might keep him safe, but it's going to be tight.
Fozzie Bear is going to be coming around the final corner as well. See what he can do, because at the moment he's not set himself a time, and if he doesn't ideally put himself in that top 10, he could be in danger coming towards the end, and he hasn't yet. So obviously the danger zone realistically is 12 and under. You're kind of in a bit of a risk because anyone could just jump you and you're straight into the danger zone and you need to get out and back on. But
definitely, I think Fozzie, you went deep on the X out of the last corner, so I definitely think there's about a tenth or two in that because he was really late getting the power down. So I'd imagine a 26.8, maybe 9, and that should. I'd only hop him up one place. You've got Mulsey, obviously. Oh, you got Maz actually. Sorry, with a 26.654, which is
TJ Furface has invalidated another lap. He's another one struggling massively as well. The top 7 are pretty much all retiring now, and they're happy with what they're doing. I mean, Go But Limitless is going again, risking the car or getting a wobble on there, and he's got to be careful not to put it into a wall, because that will take him from a possible pole position to P16.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's great if it works out because you show your hand, but if it backfires, then you end up having a load of egg in your face and your car in bits. So it's one of those where you can go out, maybe just kind of get yourself acclimatized to the track effectively, and just making sure that you get your braking zones nailed down, your traction points are there, but I don't know, personally I just retire and have a fag and chill out personally. But
well, he has come into the pits now, obviously not improving on his time, and will probably retire now, as he is going to be through. There's no way that everyone's going to improve and knock him out, and anyway he has a 4-driver buffer anyway, they've all retired already, so he will be through. As Energetics is still on track, he's done a 1:36.2, so he has improved, but nowhere near enough to what he needs to. He's still 8 seconds off the next driver, which is Move Maestro.
He's having a shocker.
Yeah, he's not having a nice time at all. Neither is TJ Furface. Those Hasses could see themselves right at the back, looking a bit like real life for them at the moment.
I was gonna say I don't think you put realistic performance on for those cars, but
well, it looks like we might have, to be honest. well, the Alpha Tauris have actually found their way up, and they've been dominant this season in Division 2. The Alpha, well, not Alpha Tauris, Alfa Romeo, sorry, have been absolutely dominant in terms of consistency. Sloth coming in, maybe just solidifying how good that Alfa Romeo team is, because Beefy didn't really have a teammate for quite a lot of this season. Brings in Sloth, and Sloth straight away battling for 3 wins on a trot, and seeing pace-wise now could be in contention for another one.
Oh, definitely. Sloth kind of goes under the radar. He's on a Monday. He's part of the team that I'm in, and he came up trumps at Abu Dhabi last week, getting P4 in quali, and you know that grid is not slow by any means necessary. And Sloth came in, and I'm not saying Sloth's slow at all, but he came in clutch, and he does go under the radar a little bit.
Yeah, he's not what I would call a loud driver. The ones that smash in these times, impress, like they're dominant, or he doesn't speak that much either in terms of the chat outside either, so he keeps himself to himself and just does what he needs to do, really. Obviously he can always work on consistency a little bit, in terms of Baku losing his front wing near the end of the race, bottle himself a pretty simple win realistically in the end of it, as Maz got his bottle on and put it in the wall, who was the only person who was really challenging him on pace on that race, and obviously he just had to take it home and wasn't quite able to manage that, losing it out in the final couple of laps. Almost like what Pease did actually in Division 1 on Thursday.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're talking about bottles, but I mean the Division 1 guys are rapid, but they're not they're not immune to a mistake either, are they?
No. No, I don't think anybody ever has a perfect race as much as what they say, mate. You know, we all go.
You can have a perfect race realistically, unless you're winning races in esports, and then I think that's as close to perfect as you're ever going to get.
It probably will be. You know, and it's one of those where, you know, we saw it Thursday when the rain came down at Baku. How much people struggled. And even their GP1, there's still going to be some sort of, you know, pressure out there, no matter where you are in the grid, and it does show.
Well, the pressure, I think, scales, doesn't it? On Division, you've always got drivers your pace. Like, no matter how good you are at this game, there's always someone who can push you. Like, the esports guys are separated by less than a tenth from like first to like 15th. Those splits are insane, but there's always someone who can do better than you at a track, I think, and that's where the pressure comes, isn't it? Because if they're up your ass, then you're not going to feel comfortable, are you?
No, not at all. And no, you never will feel comfortable, mate. You know, I've had it before where, you know, I've seen Droftas in my mirrors, and I've just lost the bottle. Like, the world's just falling out my ass. But it's the only way you can kind of learn, really. As said before.
Yeah, it's Mazel tyres now, thinking he's safe. Just in a lowly P10, but obviously you don't need to set the world alight, do you, in Q1? You just need to get through.
Yeah, that is all that matters. And
his energetics is going to be out of this session. 40 seconds left, and he's invalidated again. He's going to be out. TJ Furface is going to be out as well. He's just been put into the garage. Racer Avocado's DNF, so that means Moop Maestro on his VIL debut is going to make it into Q2. Personal friend of mine, so I'm pretty happy for him. Been training him a little bit, giving him a few words of advice today, but obviously we'll see how he does in the race. But I'll tell you what, Q2 for him is brilliant.
He's not going to make it. He bins it.
Crash out, but obviously P15 isn't going to be too bad for him.
Yeah, and He does know there's better tutors out there than Velocity, doesn't he? Or not?
Well, I'm sure he does, but that's the best he's getting at the moment.
Yeah, so TJ Furface, Race Avocado, Energetics, and unfortunately, Moob is out. So that leaves only 4 drivers that are going to be going out into Q2. So still to play for. I wouldn't want to be a better man.
No, I definitely wouldn't, especially with a gap at the front there with the half a tenth between P1 and 2. Jamaican flag winning on Thursday, and I wonder if a Jamaican flag will win today as well.
There's a good possibility.
Well, I mean, he's got Gods, who has been a bit off form as well recently. These two CRX guys are very, very good in qualifying usually, and I wouldn't be too surprised to see them pop in some decent competitive times. It's the same with Kurt Boy as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see him hop up near the top as well.
Not at all. Kurt Boy showing some really good pace towards in the second half of the season. So, and it's nice that he kind of came in. And kind of kept showing it really towards the back end of the season as well. Yeah,
was actually the quickest guy on track in Monaco. Didn't end up going his way, I don't think, but well, that did go a lot of people's ways. Probably not one of the best races to talk about, but it's one that's going to stay in some people's minds, isn't it? Especially yours.
Stayed in mine. I'm on suicide watch for about the past 2 weeks after that.
But we'll have a bit of a performance here today, I think. Keeping it clean through turns 1, 2 and 3, and I think we'll be fairly alright. I think they'll start to spread out a little bit, gain themselves a space, get themselves into a rhythm, and there you go. But yeah, the GP2 is definitely the learning league for these guys. There's always something that you can learn, and whether that's based racecraft or you're qualifying, this is realistically, like I like to call it, the F2. We've got some good prospects in here that could get very, very, very quick one day. And they're just learning.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you will ever stop learning on this game at all. And it's just one of those.
Well, I think you'll never stop learning, but you can sort of accept not to learn. You can become ignorant, but then you just fall behind, don't you? You fall into sort of the ocean of drivers that will just swallow you up, and it'll be difficult to recover from that.
Oh, definitely.
As we have got him in, I was celebrating and crashed. So that's moved me astro for you. Celebrating getting through and then crashed into the wall. So there you go. There's a learning lesson for him. Don't celebrate and drive. Get himself back to the pits before he cracks open a beer or something.
Oh, definitely.
I think our first person on a lap is Mars, actually. So he will be the first one setting a lap. Doing obviously the par. Multi-Barrick's been one actually who's gone quite under the radar, I think, anyway, this season. A very, very consistent driver. Always in that top sort of 5 or 6 battle. Not one who's maybe able to win the races yet, but definitely has a consistency to maybe like sneak a win in here or there next season, if he just keeps up what he's doing now.
No, definitely. And you said it's kind of like the developmental phase is GP2, and I think Multi has shown a lot of promise, and hopefully next season he can show that he can be a front runner for the GP2 title.
Yeah, he's a very, very strong driver. I think I'd be pretty happy if I got him as a teammate for next season. I mean, quite a lot of these guys I'd be very happy with as teammates, if I'm being honest. There's a lot of consistency in this division, which is what actually won Beefy this championship as well. So both there is a racing point that's gone off, and that is God's. I'm not sure if he's lost his front wing or not, but he's going to be driving back very slowly. Definitely has damage, but no, again, what won both these drivers their championships is consistency. That's the key. If you're not consistent, you're not winning.
No, not at all. You know, and that's the main thing you got to be doing, is just making sure you're in that top 10 week after week, no matter where it is, even if it's a win or if it's 10th and you're just scraping a point. If that comes down to the last race of the season and you need a point, that point could win you it. And you know, fastest lap as well. You know, there's always a point for fastest lap. And
yeah,
you know, even if you've got a 20-second gap behind and you're in P9 and the worst you're gonna get is 10th, chuck on a set of softs, right, you know, penultimate lap and get yourself out there.
If I'm going to be perfectly honest, I don't believe the fastest guys won the championships in the end, because the consistent guys won. Because Beefy was never, realistically, he wasn't always qualifying at pole. It's not like he was dominating. He was just consistently getting these top fives, racking up the points when everyone else was making mistakes, DNFing, and just getting penalties when he wasn't. Which just let him pull out a win, and when he did get the wins, it was just icing on the cake really for him. It's the same with Droftas. I mean, he was getting wins before Chapelele came in, but obviously we all know Chapelele at that point did become the quickest driver in the league by quite some margin, but obviously again prone to errors.
Oh, definitely,
and
like, you know, and
did make a couple of mistakes that cost him, because he came in Spain, I think it was, and he could have won this championship, the pace he had, but no, mistakes took it away from him.
oh, definitely, like, you know, the big thing is that, you know, when push came to shove and when Chapelele was ever in trouble, you would never see Droftas in the same issue. Obviously, in the back end of the season, it looked like it was going to get away from Droftas and AlphaTauri, but they found a way of pulling it out of the bag and just doing what they do best.
AlphaTauri did have a bit of luck on their side in terms of what went down in Baku. Obviously, Chapelele's game crashing, so taking the Red Bull 3-4, which would have possibly won it for them, down to 7 or 8 and 13. And a DNF, sorry, because Chapelele ended up retiring and One got wing damage. And then obviously turned into a 4-5, I think, or a 4-7 for the AlphaTauri boys, who ended up extending their lead, but very, very close from the two Red Bull teams.
Yeah, it was. Obviously, Abbasis unfortunately missed on the last few races with a few pedal problems as well, which I think hindered him a little bit.
Another very, very good driver, actually, Abbasis. I really want to see him get his wheel sorted so he can get him back in straight away, because honestly he's very, very good and looked very consistent and solid for Chapelele to help him push for that Constructors' Championship, but obviously luck didn't have it, did it?
No,
it's not really
at all.
his fault.
No, not at all. I don't quite know what happened with Abbasis' pedal, but
I know it went on him in Russia, which ended up, I think someone else ended up going into the back of him. Not sure who it was, but I do believe it was a Haas. But I couldn't tell you who the Haas was, because our Haas drivers did move around a little bit more at the end. But very unfortunate incident for both drivers, and obviously Abbasis is out for the rest of the season. Well, he signed up for next season. He said he wants a full-time seat. We will be giving him that, but when he comes back from his injury, as I'd like to call it, is anyone's guess at the moment.
Oh, definitely. It sounded like it was kind of like a sensor issue. Well, effectively a sensor issue you kind of have, but
well, the problem with wheel breakages as well, they can be quite expensive to fix. especially if you're running high, like Vanatex or the high-end First Masters. You're looking 300-400 quid just to fix the problem you've got. It's not cheap.
No, not at all. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a kind of bank breaker, that, but that is unfortunately the price you
Mars
pay for having
has
a wheel.
actually shoved himself a good time in, and I do think that's 26-1 that he retired on.
Yeah, but that's a two-stop now. That's the only issue.
Yeah, it is.
Around here, you want to be one-stopping.
Yeah, well, it is very, very difficult. God has gone for the same thing. I do believe these two do communicate, and we'll probably be a very solid team, to be fair. But I don't. Is a two-stop worthy? I don't know. It depends on safety cars, I think, here.
Well, I mean, they can do a soft hard, but the hards need to go. What's this? About 26 laps, something like that.
20-odd laps for the hards because these softs die quick.
Yeah, you need to do about 19, 20 laps on the hards, and it is possible. I've done it before, but it don't feel great at all. And if you don't pull out the gap in the first stint, or try and pull as big of a gap as you can in the first stint, you'll end up in about maybe 5th, 6th, 7th by the end of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, no, you will get swallowed up as Sloth isn't actually going through currently. He's messed up his medium run, and he might actually have to go on to the... he's currently stuck in the way of the pit lane. He got very close to in danger of being disqualified. A bit of a mistake there from him. A very silly one, actually. Again, it's just these mistakes in Q2, and I think Q2 is actually possibly the most vital one for people, because it's the one that really affects your race on what tyres you actually get through on.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'd rather start 11th. I'd rather go out on the mediums, start at 11th, than get in the top 10 on softs and have to box twice. You know, you can start on fresh mediums or fresh hards. Ideally, probably fresh hards, and you can be on the mediums for the back end of the race, so you're on the quicker tyre. But in the heat of the moment, everybody wants the glory of pole.
Oh yeah, of course they do. It's a nice thing, isn't it, to get. Because I'm actually going to leave you to go to the toilet, and I'll be back before the end of this session.
Great. As now we have Maz just about across the line, going down towards turn 1 now. Obviously only 3 minutes left of the session. This is where guys will be getting the next set of tyres on the car, and just kind of making a final preparation before they go out for the last one, try and make it into Q3 on whatever tyre. We're looking at softs at the moment for most people. Sloth back out on the mediums. I don't really know why you're taking the escape road, Sloth. If you could not do that, that'd be great. Apparently Maz is nearly half a second up on his time at the moment, so this is a crucial lap for Maz to get into Q3. He is P11 at the moment, so just outside. He got DJ on the bubble with a 27.860, and just kind of making DJ
and I am back.
Great. DJ will have to go out again, I'd imagine, but Maz currently, it's looking very good for him. He is flying around here, to be fair to him. I think he might be about 8 tenths up on his time at the moment. I'm going to have a guess. As Kurt Boyce just a 26.5.
He's done a purple sector 2, actually, Maz has. So.
He's 1.1 seconds up on his time. Kurt Boyce starts 26.5 on the soft tyre. But I'd imagine Gober and Beefy are both safe. Maz now up towards the line. One last bit of DRS, and it is a 26.4. So
only 3 tenths off his teammate, not too bad, not too shabby from him.
Not at all. I will see him safe as well. We've got Ara Verk on his lap. We've got Madden in a wall,
in the wall,
so
yeah.
that is him done. You've got Molsey on the softs, Ryan Van Doom on the softs, DJ in the pit lane, so he won't be coming out again. You've got Sloth just starting his lap on the medium tyre as well.
Well, there's a racing point going slow. That's Maz getting out of the way for Sloth, but for Sloth, this is all or nothing. This could realistically make or break his race because he's chosen the mediums, the better tyre to be on, but if he doesn't make this, he's stuck in P14 and in the pack, and obviously for a quicker driver, it's a struggle to get through these guys.
Yeah, it is. They don't make it easy. Vanilla defend, and that is kind of rule 101. 26-0 for Multi gets him into P1 in Q2. So Multi looking definitely racy. He probably will be in the 25s by the back end of this. Madden will need to get out of the way because he's got a Sloth. Will be coming straight on the back of him, so Madden does need to kind of pay attention to that track map and just make sure he does get out of the way. As Sloth is 5 seconds off on his time, which sets him at a 1:27 at the moment. He just needs to find a few more tenths. Actually, no. He's got Fozzie in the pit, so if he can just carry on this sort of pace, you might see Sloth through on those medium tyres here. Should be great for him.
He needs to improve by about 5.6 to put him through, and I do reckon he will. He does, just about, literally just about, he puts himself through. I tell you what, that's squeaky bum time for him, isn't it?
I mean, that's only a tenth away, and that's easily losable as well. So, fair play to Sloth getting it in. Clutch lap right at the back end of QT.
I tell you what, that set him up very nicely to 2 Alfa Romeos on the medium compounded tyre. And then Gobert Limitless, just a tenth in front on the medium compound tyres as well. So those three are going to look strong as long as they can keep out of incidents in the first couple of laps and maybe break away into their own little trio of
definitely. I mean, if you look, you've got the 2 racing points, 2 Ferraris, the 2 Renaults and the 2 Alfa Tauris. It's only the Red Bull and the 2 Alfa Romeo, sorry. It's only the 1 Alfa Tauri that you have and the 1 Red Bull in the top 10. So teamwork going on well at the moment. Unfortunately, Racer Avocado bin in it didn't help Kurt Boy, and Madden obviously having that spin and hit his front wing right where he didn't need to.
Well, it's been an interesting one so far. Both the McLarens will actually be starting side by side as well, in 14th and 15th as well. And then obviously we've got the Hasses split by Racer Avocado. So we could have a bit of a Noah's Ark grid going on here if we get the correct results. Oh no,
definitely. I mean, looking at it, again, I wouldn't want to bet on who's going to be pole here at all. I don't know if I was going to say anybody. No, I'm not. I'm going to shut up.
Well, we've got Maz commenting, not happy with having to start in the soft, but doesn't want to be near the back of the pack and obviously in the area where incidents can possibly happen. Well, so it's a sacrifice he has to make.
It is, but you wouldn't have to make that sacrifice if he wasn't such a bottle job.
Yeah, very true, and he is hoping for an early safety car, which here it's very possible.
I mean, obviously you get, you get out the exit of fit out of turn 5 on the right-hand curb, and that will throw you over to the left-hand side, and the safety car is instant there.
Well, and they could collect 1 or 2 other drivers as well, from no fault of their own. Might just get unlucky with it.
Well, you got the curb of death just at the end of sector 2 as well.
Yeah, that is brutal. I have had to tell Moob to stay off it a lot. I'm not sure he's listening though, and I probably will see him at some point mounting that curb. And I'll be very disappointed if he does spin out on that curb in particular.
Yeah, it's one of those where as soon as you lose the car, it's just, you might as well let it happen.
One of the silent killer corners is actually turn 2. The exit of turn 2, you can really easily lose the back end. It's the only corner I actually struggle with is the exit of turn 2. Coming off the hairpin, getting the traction down, trying to get as much speed, and obviously while you're still trying to find your traction, you've got a left-hander that arrives, so that's a silent killer.
No, definitely. But ideally you'd want to be in a higher gear just to dull the revs down just a little bit. But obviously it's easier said than done in the heat of battle, and you'll see it tonight probably. A few people losing the back end of the car, and not expecting the car to kind of snap away from them, but when you're side by side with someone coming out of a corner, you want to get the power down first. And
well, there's a couple of spots I'm aware we'll probably see a couple of things. We've obviously got the exit of turn 2. I think there'll be someone will have an incident there. And then obviously the right-hander on the end of sector 2, someone may be getting squeezed side by side onto that curb and sliding it. And there's just a couple of little odd places. Obviously someone could do a spinalis, a Seb Vettel. It's very easy to do.
Yeah.
So
I'm just gonna say I'm gonna blame my spinala on that corner from you when I last raced here with you.
Well, that was you completely sending it.
That's you just
from
turning
800 miles back.
It was, and that's just you turning into a corner because you have no track awareness.
Yeah, well, we'll agree to disagree, shall we? And obviously the stewards agreed with me, so.
It's only because you got. That's only because you had your tongue right up the arsehole. So.
Oh, they hated me. It's fine.
We all hate you.
Yeah, well, it comes with a compromise, doesn't it? Knowing me, but. I'm actually on board with Beefy, and I don't actually believe is he the first one? Or is it the Renault?
I'm not sure.
No, it is Beefy. Beefy is going to be the first one across the line to set a time. And it would be interesting to see what he actually does, because obviously this is what really counts. If he gets himself in the 25s, he's on for at least, I reckon, a top 3 or 4. But ideally, you want to be a 25.6 or so, I reckon, is going to be the pole position times. We've got 25.9 there. So, yeah, a 25.6. Well, 25.5 straight away. Gobert is not messing around, is he?
He's not, but I was having a look at some time in Beefy's lap there. He made a few mistakes, so I'd imagine full well that Beefy would be around.
Mars is on 25.9 as well, saying he could put in a decent time, and he has.
Multi with a 26.0.
It's very, very close actually between P2 and 5. Not just over a 10th in it.
We're gonna have Sloth next, and this is, I'm gonna say, oh, that's
an incredible time there from Sloth, a 25.4. Wasn't expecting Gobert's time to be beaten so quickly, and I tell you what, these guys aren't. They are proving why they've got the look in at GP1 next season.
Maz with 26.2, so Maz will have time somewhere around there. No, definitely. GP2 has always been quite close. You never see huge gaps, even in race trim as well. So it's Kurt with a 26.4. So. Yeah, no, it's nice. Nice to see at the top of the time.
The only downside I can see with GP2 sometimes is just them making silly mistakes, silly moves where they don't need to. But that's you kind of expect that from the lower tiers, the less experienced drivers, as I would say, like maybe slightly more hot-headed drivers.
It's all about patience, mate, and. It's a matter of just kind of as you grow into kind of league racing, you get the experience and you get the knowledge of when to move on and when to just kind of sit back. I've been through it, and I've had many a chat with Draft and Aiden just saying, look, you need to calm it down. And ever since then, everything's just a lot smoother. And you kind of get it into your head that not every gap that's there exists. Because when you're behind and when you want to overtake, you think, if there's a gap, oh, that's my gap, that's my corner, I'm taking that line. It's not on, but, you end up learning quite quickly.
No, as well, you need to get to know your other drivers as well, because you've got some drivers that will give you the room on those gaps, but you've got other drivers that just won't have any of it and just take the line that they're entitled to.
Well, exactly, if you're not, side by side or at least halfway beside the car, and I will be turning in personally, because why should I leave you room effectively? So you
Yeah,
don't
there
see
is.
many dive bombs from me anymore because I just bide my time and just make sure the move's on 100%. So if anybody
No,
tries
I
it on me, I just
taught you
turn
that
in.
lesson.
You didn't, because I still tried it
I'll
later
take
on in
credit
that
from
race.
it. Yeah, but no, dive bombing doesn't usually work.
I mean, you got to have a trust. It goes. You got to trust.
You've got to trust yourself as well to be able to not outbrake yourself. It is a skill that the real life F1 drivers have got down perfectly, like Daniel Ricciardo. But us normal human beings do make that mistake, thinking we can do that.
It's easy to make as well, and you know most slash if everyone at some point would have gone for a move that wasn't 100% on.
Yeah, especially if you feel like you're slightly quicker than the driver in front, they're holding you up. Obviously, you think you can get a result. You're entitled to that position. Or maybe you've made a mistake earlier on in the race and you've lost your head a little bit. There's always these little things, though, isn't there?
Oh, for sure.
I have noticed. When did we lose NUF1? I didn't remember him actually going out.
No, I don't remember him.
He has actually been lost from the session. I'm not sure when, but yeah, I will actually have a look. I can't have a look, can I? Actually, we have a Gobert and Beefy on the incidents.
Brandon ended up being 12th.
Huh. One that slipped the mind, that one.
Yeah, I just kind of thought he made it. Even though he went through the whole top 10. And I still didn't realise he's not in the Mercedes. Nice!
No, I did expect to see him in there, and I just noticed his garage was empty. No one in there. But he'll be looking to get through the pack, I guess. No slouch either. He's taken off all his assists as well this season. So he used to be a rapid driver, to be fair. When he had all his assists on, was driving on pad, and now he's on wheel and he's taking his assists off, and it's a learning curve, especially when you get to go from pad to wheel. It's very, very different.
Yeah, definitely. You do end up losing a lot of speed, and I might be making that transition probably for the next game.
Well, I mean, I like to think I still haven't even got anywhere near my pad pace as what I did in like 2018. We're on 2020 now. And I still haven't fully reached what I could do on pad, which is unfortunate, but I guess it's something I've got to get used to.
Oh, 100%, and it comes with time, and you know, well, from what I hear, a lot of patience as well. So, and that's the main thing. If you can just.
So we've got Aravik on a lap at the moment. The only man on a lap actually is Aravik. Taking the early route can sometimes be a bit of a danger because obviously you've got everyone exiting the pits, possibly getting in the way of you, but maybe just he is about 7-8 tenths off everyone else, so he's not had the best showing in Q3, but he's got himself there and that's the point.
No, definitely.
Whether it was the best idea is another question altogether, and that's one we'll probably ask at the end of the race, seeing where he comes in the end, because obviously if the soft runners are going to pit early, and it will mix up the grid, because everyone outside the top 10 is more than likely, I'd assume, will start on the mediums or hards.
Yeah, I'd definitely start hard because you want to be on the quickest tyre right at the end of the Grand Prix. You know.
Well, you have your lightest car as well.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and the softs don't damage as hard, even if you are, you know, last stint on them. If there is a late safety car, then you'll see the whole grid, obviously on those soft tyres, which is ideal because it's quite nice to get the kind of tension just building right at the end of the Grand Prix as well.
Yeah, the only problem with going with the hard usually at the start is if there's an early safety car, everyone switches the strategy and doesn't have to pit again. And you're sat there going, it's a bit too early for me at the moment, and you can't switch on to a new pair of hards because you've got to pit again for an alternate tyre. So
yeah, exactly.
it's a luck of the draw sometimes in terms of strategy.
Yeah, but I think if you start on hards and you say you have a safety car lap 2, the soft runners will obviously go hards, but the medium runners will still have that kind of advantage and that edge because their tyres won't be that old and they still have a grip in them, and that's key. So I think they could probably make it work. They can make the one-stop work.
Do only have about 8 seconds left. Everyone's on a lap. And we will be seeing the main shootout. They've got to be a 25-4. Now, whether they'll get beaten, I do believe Sloth will probably improve, as we've got people who already completed their laps. Maz has completed his lap with a 26 flat, moving up into P5 ahead of Multi Barrick. Ryan Van Doom into P8 with a 26 flat as well. Looking at the gap, it's incredible. P3 to P8, as FIFA Beefy does improve. And who have we got coming across the line next? It is a Ferrari. It's Multi Barrick's going to come across the line. What's he going to do? He's going to put himself into P4, improving on his time. Then we've got Go But Limitless. This is one of the guys who I would assume could possibly go pole, and I think he's going on pole here. And there we go, 25-2. Brilliant time from him.
It's all on Slotham, really. You got Mars coming. Mars
not able to challenge it, but obviously Sloth does get a purple sector 2 actually, so he could be beating that pole position time. It's going to be hard for him though, but obviously it's not undoable, is it? Track's gone up, and he does it.
I don't think he has.
No, P2. I'm not sure what the gap was though. I don't think it was much, if I'm being honest. 1/10 of a second. Not being able to get into that twos and Go But Limitless on pole position. Brilliant time from him, really.
Yeah, it is. Obviously, we showed what he had in the tank right in the last lap. And 25-2 is a good lap, no doubt about it. But Sloth having a good showing, and Beefy, the top member of the top 3 will all be on mediums as well. So I think Mars, I think the rest of the top 10 are all on soft. So you'll probably see Mars and Multi try and get the jump on Beefy and Sloth, and Gobert as well.
Well, if they warm up their tyres well enough, they'll be all right. But obviously, the softs are incredibly good on the start compared to the mediums, so it's not a long run though. That's what they've got to the advantage. It's not a long run until turn 1, so as long as they can keep it in front, defend hard, defend fair, they'll be alright. I think turn 3 is where it will settle down and they could possibly relax a little bit if those 3 are still in 1, 2 and 3. I don't believe they will be. I do believe one of them will get jumped, and it's just how it's going to go. But very interesting top 3 altogether, and they're all the only 3 that actually got through on the mediums. So
yeah, but now this is obviously quality is the first part done, but the issue comes now, and this is where you see who really has.
Well, this is where you get the points.
Yeah, quality doesn't really matter, to be fair. It really doesn't really matter.
Well,
you know, you can
it matters to an extent. It makes your life a little bit easier, doesn't it? P1 easier to win, isn't it? But I mean, if you, I mean, when I've got. From my league racing experience, there's a 100% record from P1 to first. I mean, that's not many races, as Cutboy's already disqualified, which is bloody impressive.
I'm going to say he didn't move off the line. That'd be my guess.
Well, he isn't going to be I'm too happy. Yeah, shall I take us through the order then?
Go on then.
Is we do have Goba in P1, then Iron Sloth in P2, followed by his teammate, the championship winner of Season 2 of VIL Division 2 is FIFA Beefy. CRX Mars is in P4, then Multi Barrick splitting the two CRX boys. The two racing points are together as well, with Maz just behind Gods. Ryan Van Doom is in P8. Kurt Boy sitting back on the grid. Not going to be too happy with himself, probably, having those freezing cold tyres for the start, and will probably lose a couple of positions. But he is going to be in P9. Aravik in P10. Fozzie Bear, first of the 3 compound tyres in P11, could be on for a real good one here, as he gets to choose what he wants. NUF1, another quick driver on the hard compounder tyres. He's in P12. Madden in P13 on the mediums. DJ Death Dragon in P14. He's on the hards as well. And Move Maestro in P15. The man who crashed once he was already confirmed through. Very impressive from him. Always a very questionable person, but Energetics now in P16. Had a bit of a mare, but obviously he'll be looking to improve, overtaking everyone on the formation lap. Very interesting. Avocado, obviously a bit of a better showing than what he did in qualifying, and hopefully his race lasts longer as well. And TJ Furface rounding off the grid in P18. So that's the grid, and I'll let you control the start.
As you should. But I think we're all lined up, just waiting for TJ to round out the back of the field before we get the lights underway for this final race of the GP2 season here at Bahrain. We have 1, we have 2, 3, 4 and 5 lights, and it is lights out and away we go. And that's a soft sort of start. The one about Mars really does get a hop on FIFA Beefy going into turn 1, but I think Sloth is alongside Gobert going into turn 1 as well. Sloth going for the lead down the inside.
Wing popping off some
places. Got it done as well. And Sloth is into P1. You've got the 2 Ferraris flying out with Ryan Van Diem and Multi as well.
Aravik is off. Someone else off as well. Racer Avocado. Move Maestro at the back trying to make a move on TJ Furface. TJ Furface just settling behind. As we move up the grid, we've got another issue. Fozzie Bear's lost positions again. It's not going well for him. P11 down into P14. And I do think he's gone off again, has he?
Fozzie Bear has got wing damage, so he's currently missing an end plate, so he's better off just kind of conceding the place, which he does to TJ Furface. The big move is Slotho getting into the lead, but he's got Goba right on his tail. Going into the back end of the Sector 2.
Goba not giving him any room to relax, is he? As FIFA Beefy's actually got back past Mars. Mars going very, very wide into that right-hander. Really just looking to keep himself out that dirty air, I would assume. And he's probably going to look to make a move on FIFA Beefy on this back straight, because he looks like he's got the pace. And he's probably going to get the grip as Ryan Van Doom actually comes up right behind the back. And he's a bit of a silent one. I didn't expect him to jump up the grid so much. Here we go. Mars moving through on... oh, God, what has happened to my...
Robert, is he sending it? I think he kind of semi-sent it, but he's going to lose time. And
Mars... FIFA Beefy loses it there, and Ryan Van Doom goes through. I've completely lost where everyone is, because Mars is apparently in P12 when he clearly isn't.
I think Mars sorted himself back out again now, so it is Sloth from... Oh no, mine's just gone complete peak tongue. Man, what is up?
This is a glitch. There's a Red Bull, no, sorry, a Ferrari that's gone off, and that's Ryan Van Doon. He has had an issue going into this S section. Not sure if he's had contact. I would assume he probably did the way he came off, but he's got away with no damage and is now down into P17 and will need to really sort himself out, collect himself again, and go back at it. It's a long race and anything can happen.
Definitely.
As DJ Death Dragon's going for a move on Gods as well. As the hard runner of DJ Death Dragon, incredible move, and it does look like, yeah, Gods must have damage. Jesus Christ, as Madden almost murders him.
Yeah, you got Hilke going up the inside now. best thing for Gods to do is just kind of back out of this. With the damage he's got, he won't be able to turn in as much. So Hilke needs to kind of be a bit wary of this now. As you see Gods just running wide, he's going to lose multiple places, and he's better off. He is just going to dive it into the pit lane.
Kurtboy now goes up past Energetics as well, so getting 2 positions on that straight. And we have got a
lap 3 DRS enabled, and you're going to have Gobert now going straight back at Sloth. And this is where DRS is so OP. You get a bit of slipstream, ERS, DRS. It's kind of like game over.
Do you think Gobert's wanting to make the move, or do you reckon he's just saving ERS and getting towed along at the moment?
I don't know. I think he was waiting until lap 3, get the move done, and then maybe try and push on. That's probably what I would try and do. But he's going to have Maz for company. You got the top 5 all within each other's DRS, and Maz just outside it. If he can make up 3/10, you'll have what, the top 10 all inside each other's DRS here. So,
well, DJ Death Dragon's just been dropped outside it, and Maz has heard that and is almost back in it. Just about 1.2 again, but obviously exiting that corner. He did get to about 1.0, 1 flat. And obviously, ideally you want to be within that 1 second, but it's not always easy to do, especially with the dirty air.
No, not at all, but I think the guy we need to look out for really is we've got
yellow flags, and that has moved Maestro off. He's made an error, and I would assume it is probably the right-hander on the curb. He's down to P15. It's not too bad for him, down to where he started, but
we're going to have a move here. Gobert, he's going to look to the inside. He's going to try and outbrake Sloth here. Sloth going to try and hang it out, but he's going to have the outside line. Gobert just leaving him the space, and here comes Sloth back up the inside, and Sloth will have the DRS, will he?
So going side by side, neither of them have DRS, and they're going side by side again.
But Gobert's going to get the move done. He's going to be able to get the traction down, and he does.
Some brilliant racing by the 2 of them, though. Major respect from them both.
Definitely. But the guy we need to look out for is probably DJ on those hards at the moment. If he can keep up this sort of pace until he has to box for those medium tyres.
DJ is, he's on a storm, isn't he?
He will be in probably the best shape for the back end of this race with those medium tyres and the lighter fuel load.
Well, he's not messed about, has he? Getting through this grid, and maybe he's just shown that.
Is he up 7 places? I think. Look.
Yes, he is. He started P14 as Racer Avocado's had another issue. He's not enjoying this at all. Just isn't his track, is it?
No, it's kind of one of those where you really just need to kind of let the track come to you, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
you can't
it's not. I don't think it's a track you can really attack, and if you do, it ends up taking you, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely.
But no, Sloth's going to probably have a move or a look at Gobert again, and we could have another switch for the lead, and it looks like it's going to happen. As he's coming into his hairpin, looking at the inside, he's going to put his car straight in front, and he's going to secure that move before the hairpin even gets accounted for. Very commanding move.
Built up a half a second gap already, so Gobert couldn't have had a good exit at turn 1. Because he won't be able to get the move done here at all, so this is going to probably be another move down that start-finish straight. As FIFA Beefy's dropped out of Mars.
Well, Madden's
DRS,
on the back of Kurtboy as well. And he's going to be wanting to make the move on the Red Bull driver. Kurtboy not having the best of times, possibly not, and Mars is off, and I think that's Maz as well who's had an issue. His car reversing back onto the track, not ideal, but he's got it back off, and he's going to recover back into P11. Fozzie Bear has retired. Actually on the track, and has caused a safety car. He's lost it out the final corner.
Now this is just 24 laps. The hard and the soft runners, well, I think the medium runners could probably, I don't know. Soft runners will definitely come in. I just don't think you're going to be getting hards 25 laps.
Well, I do think this is saved a little bit, Mars and Maz, because they've both made mistakes, big mistakes. And this safety car has really helped them. They've lost 10, 15 seconds. And he's gonna be counting his lucky stars, isn't he, Maz? It has come out. He's got the opportunity to pit off these probably screaming soft tyres, as they're pretty much going to be dead by now. Probably onto the hards and try and take them to the end.
Probably got the medium runners staying out there as well, along with DJ on the hard. So they're obviously still going to stick to the medium medium hard strategy.
NUF1 has stayed out as well. I think he's also on the hards. Mazzy, yes, pitting.
Multi's come in for the hards, so Multi's going to try and go to the end on those. But the hard thing is with the safety car and warming up hard tyres, it doesn't go hand in hand.
No, it doesn't. Is Move sure it is staying out? He's going to gain a couple of positions and actually go ahead of Maz. And possibly Mars, and he's not managed to do that. Having a little bit of a race, and that's not quite worked for him. And obviously, this safety car's not going to last that long, I don't think, because they're pretty much all together already.
Yeah, and the thing is with it around here is when you've got the slow corners, it doesn't take long to catch back up.
I'll tell you what, DJ Death Dragon is probably eyeing up this win, eyeing up the trophy that he could be getting himself today, and just ending this season with a big title, saying he's ready for season 3.
Definitely. Because, I mean, he's up, what, 8 places? 9? No, 10 places,
yeah,
sorry.
It's been incredible from him, especially on these hard compound tyres. He's been outpacing some soft runners and also the medium runners. Arguably the quickest man on the track at the moment.
Possibly, yeah. Given the compound tyre he's on, I definitely say he will be. He'll definitely be up there, but you look at the tyres now, and you don't see one soft runner out there, and it's probably for the best. At least they've all made the right calls on probably the medium or hards. I think you've got Maz on fresh medium, so is Mars, and you've got Kurtboy and Multi going to try and go to the end as well. So a few interesting strategies. I don't know.
Yeah, I think everyone's going to pretty much have to pit at the end, apart from maybe Multi. Kurtboy might be able to take the tyres to the end, and that's about it. I think only 2 drivers won't be pitting again, I would assume, but their tyres will be screaming at the end. Maybe lap 25 they'll really start feeling it, and the pace will drop off, and they'll come under attack. I do believe they will be at the front of the grid though until probably about lap 20.
Yeah. I mean, you can get 8 laps out of a fresh set of soft around here. So you never know. With this safety car, you might find DJ going till lap 20, or 8 or 9 laps, lap 20, lap 21.
Well, with the safety car, he's saving his tyres. He's going to be able to put himself in a much better position. I mean, the medium compound runners, I wouldn't be happy with the safety car around these laps. Knowing you've probably got to do a hard compound. You're not taking these long enough to get the softs on, and you're pretty much going to do a 50-50 on the mediums and hards. It's not ideal, I wouldn't say, having it like this.
No, not at all.
But obviously the hard compound drivers, I think around lap 15 or so, they'll come into their own, and he'll have the quicker tyres out of the mediums and the hards. Tyre wear's pretty brutal around this track, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it is. It's the slow speed corners mixed with the temperature of the track as well, and the longevity of some of the corners as well. Obviously you harden the brakes. Safety car is in his lap, but like, fuck's sake. Turns like the curb of death turn, don't know what number it is. That is, it's just so long that you'll end up getting 2% easy if you do end up spinning up those tyres a little bit. But
Sloth's actually just driven off the track for some reason.
I don't really know what he's doing here, but
it's going to be an interesting restart. I wonder if they're communicating with Beefy, and it doesn't look like it too much, as Energetics hasn't had the... Well, I say that, he's already got a run on Madden, and he's going to be looking to get a move already. Well, he's not now. Actually, he is. He sent it down the inside, getting the switch back on him.
But Hilky gets... he spun.
Oh, no. So unfortunate there.
Oh, Hilky.
He is going to have to recover himself, as we do have Kurt Boy on the inside of a lot of drivers. That is a big huddle of drivers, and they've somehow got through that cleanly, as Kurt Boy's gained quite a few positions there.
Yeah, Kurt Boy obviously big winner out of that. DJ, well, the top 5 kind of staying as is.
It was TJ Furface falling down the order, losing 2 places there on the exit, getting on the curb, and obviously Mars just sneaking through as multi-barrack kind of forced a move, and TJ Furface is struggling massively here.
Definitely, Maz is now stuck in 14th as Ryan gets past him. But Maz does need to kind of get a move on. Maz now back past. Is he going to get... Yeah, he is going to make it. But no, he doesn't.
Ryan actually comes back. Having that inside is massive, and there you go. Ryan has actually kept in front, and there. Oh my God, that's big contact. 3 drivers involved there. Losing it again on the curb. Ryan Van Doom collecting the drive. There's nothing either one of them could have done there, and Aravik luckily getting away with only that hit to his side pod, but could have been much worse. But it could have had 2 retirements there.
We've got Gobert going up the inside of Sloth as well. We could have had Sloth getting a great drive out of turn 2, keeping the lead, but Gobert will be all over the back of him here. Is he going to send it? Send it in turn 4?
Oh, there's contact back there. Aravik and TJ Furface have had... No, sorry, yeah, TJ Furface and Aravik have had an incident. Not quite sure what happened. I saw it in the background. With Aravik maybe getting on the inside a little bit too much and spinning him round, but we've got the back runners on, well, Moob going onto the softs and Ryan Van Doom onto the hards. But so far it's been 2 errors for Moob, but the exact same way I said earlier, didn't I, on that curb, and he has done it. As Aravik
gets past Energetics, but Energetics going to fire it to the inside, is he? Or just, no, he's going to let him go. Top 3 now, I've pulled a 1.7 gap over DJ.
TJ Furface has just picked up his first penalty, and the first penalty of the race, actually.
I mean, it is quite hard to pick up penalties around here, though.
Yeah, I did see how he picked it up, and it was a very questionable line he's taken, but just jumping the hairpin, but, you know, got his punishment for it.
Oh no, definitely. I think Gobert is going to be going for a move on Sloth here with DRS enabled. That to be on for the second.
Well, we've got Gods all over the back of multi-barrack as well. Wonder if he's going to be going for a move as well. We've got 2 moves that are possibly on here. Multi-barrack is going to have Gobert down his inside, coming into the hairpin. Gods is going to put it down. He's not going to get the move though. Multi-barrack able to hold him off. Very good driving from the both of them again.
Definitely, but this is
where Gods is coming straight back at him though, and they're going to be side by side coming into turn 3, I think that is. No, turn 4. Sorry, that is.
Turn 4,
and that's very good move there.
Definitely. This is where now the Alfa Romeo boys really need to start working as a team here, and kind of teaming up on Gobert. It's 2-on-1. And, you know, this is the time where you want Sloth to kind of back Gobert up into Beefy to make a move. And to kind of box Gobert in. Especially down the main straight, you could get, you know, Sloth down the inside. And Beefy kind of trying to get Gobert around the outside.
Well, even if it's just sort of slow exits, slow entries, sort of silly little things that maybe we'll lose a couple of attempts here and there and open him up to a bit of just being a bit vulnerable, as Gobert's all over, and he does look like Gobert's probably going to overtake Sloth before Beefy can actually overtake his Sloth's breaking it, and that's a VSC out now, possibly.
Boxed.
Well, that's perfect for him because the VSC's just come out. And God is also boxed as well. Probably that inside curb again at the end of sector 2.
It does look like it. Beefy onto the hards along with Gods as well. So mostly going to go to the end now, but DJ is in prime position still. That's your man.
To be honest, if I was a betting man right now, FIFA Beefy's looking very good for it. Getting that pits perfectly. As soon as the VSC comes out, he's in. VSC's still out, and he's out of the pits now. To be honest, if you're a betting man, it's not a bad bet. to put your money on Beefy. Gobert almost went into the back of Sloth under the VSC. Very interesting. But we're under green flag racing again.
Yeah, we are. So it wasn't a long one, but...
Well, it could be a game-changing one. Coming to the end of this race when the pits are done, because if Sloth holds Gobert behind him, and obviously they start losing time because they're going to be pitting in the next 2 or 3 laps, Beefy could come out 5-6 seconds ahead.
Yeah, there's a big possibility. Is Gobert now trying to make a move on Sloth?
He's not going to be able to make it. The outside line is very powerful around here, as they're both coming into the box now. Oh my god, Gobert getting very, very close to the back of Sloth. But just showing that he's making every millisecond count. And Mars trying to make a move on an attacking Kurtboy, and Kurtboy's making a move on NUF1, but NUF1 defending, Mars taking the move on Kurtboy, but again, they stayed the same.
2-stop.
Oh, is he?
He's on another
That's
set of
very,
mediums.
very interesting.
I don't think that's the right call.
Well, he did this in Baku as well, I think, messed up his strategy on the 2-stop, and this is what's losing in the races at the moment, is these strategy calls. If he does get...
Thing is, he's going to be quick now, right? But he's 22 seconds off the leader. And I'm not...
Well, the leader's DJ Death Dragon, who's only going to pit once.
Yeah, and I don't know, I just don't think it's the right call here at all.
He didn't need that safety car, if I'm being honest. Doing that 2-stop, and Madden is all over the back of DJ Death Dragon. And I was saying DJ for the fastest man on the track, but Madden is looking incredible right now.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those where those medium tyres might start feeling a bit worse for wear soon, though. Maybe...
Yeah, well, we have seen the majority into the pits, and I do think Madden will probably pit, and he does look that red light flashing on the back of that AlphaTauri, so he hasn't got much in the way of ERS to spare.
To be fair, neither's DJ. I think Madden has used all of his now.
Yeah, both of them having their red light flashing, so they're both pushing as hard as they possibly can, as Mars is now moved up past NUF1. NUF1 isn't able to get that switch back, and actually what I've missed is Mars has actually gone past Kurtboy as well as NUF1 on this lap, but NUF1 is going back at Mars, but I don't think he's going to be able to get it, and it does look like NUF1 is going to have to sit behind the Renault for this lap at least.
Beefy has come out.
Sloth and Gobert side by side, and Gobert's made the move on Sloth, but Sloth's got the run on Gobert. They're going to be going side by side into turn 4, and Gobert's going to have the outside line. He's going to be going side by side, a little bit of wheel banging there. They're going side by side into the S, and I tell you what, Sloth losing it a little bit, but obviously push comes to shove, and Gobert is the one in the lead there. Obviously both of them really wanting to be in the lead, but that's big for Gobert.
One has gotten past Mars, so Brandon is now back past Mars and into third, and DJ's pulled a 1.2 second gap on Madden, so Madden out with DRS as well. Yeah, well, we've got a little four-way battle going on here, don't we? At the P3 to P6, it's a battle for P3. NUF1 and Mars maybe holding them up a little bit. NUF1 on the oldest tyres out of everyone there. There will be another move more than likely, but the problem is DRS train, and NUF1 could fall victim to quite a few drivers here. Kurtboy could be on his way as well. Kurtboy's going for it, he sent it. Kurtboy sent it.
It's a bit of a interesting one, as NUF1 does look like he could possibly lose against a multi-barrack, and as I said, yeah, come victim, and he's lost 3 positions in a sector. Not something he'll be happy about, I don't think. But I guess that ends up happening, doesn't it? As Energetics is getting pushed along by Gobert now. Gobert going to be looking to get a car in between him and Sloth. That'll be quite big in terms of getting him out of the DRS and pushing on.
Definitely, but you've got to remember though that Gobert will probably go to lap 22 now and have 7 laps on the softs, but, and there's a huge but here, You've got to look at it. You've got Araverk still to pit, Energetic still to pit, Maz still to pit, Multi.
Well, Energetics
Brandon,
isn't an easy man to put ass either. That's the thing.
No, no, he's not. And Gobert has to pit again, and he's trying to make a move.
He's made a bit of contact there.
Yeah, that's a bit naughty.
Energetic's gone round.
And Sloth's round as well. Sloth's round in the process, so he's taking kind of 2 people out with a risky dive.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see that one in the stewards later. The Sloth's not going to be happy with that at all. I wouldn't be surprised if I do see that in the stewards report later. And to be honest, I can only pin it on one person, and that's Gobert making the contact with Energetics there. Unfortunate, but at the end of the day, the responsibility is there with the man who did make the move. It's very, very interesting in terms of the race.
It's unfortunate for Sloth, but the big thing is, though, Beefy, obviously boxing under the VSC, he's in front of Gobert by like 3. Beefy's in 7th, Gobert in 10th.
Two cars in between them now. And it's a big gap. I did say, didn't I, that it'd be something stupidly high, and Sloth is down into P16. I do feel bad for him because he's got a long way to go, and it's going to feel like a long, long race from here. It's
unfortunate, and you know, Sloth is having a great race up until then as well.
Realistically, there's nothing he could do. There's nothing Energetics could have done to get out of the way of that.
Nope.
And
it was a desperation
Gobert's not
move.
Done it on purpose, has he?
No, it's desperation.
Yeah,
he knows he's losing the race, and he's trying to fight back as quick as he can.
He's coming on to Aravic now. He should be making this move on this straight. I don't know if it's the best decision to make it on here, as Aravic will be getting the DRS, but he's going to make it. Let's put it down the inside. But yeah, this is what I said about learning processes. These guys are learning the arts of racecraft. As Aravic is going to come back, and it's what I said. Patience is possibly a virtue. Well, actually, Aravic didn't get DRS.
I think they must have crossed the line, bang on the delta.
Oh, and Aravic's now has also got wing damage. He's lost his front left end plate. Nothing in the way of contact with Gobert either. I think he'd lost that quite a way earlier, but he's marching on. But Gobert now trying to make moves on to FIFA Beefy.
Yeah, I just don't think that those tyres, I don't know. Beefy can go to the end, remember that. DJ still has to pit for the medium tyres. But
well, I don't
Brandon
think
has a penalty. Why has Brandon got just 3 second time?
We've been missing a lot of Brandon today, I'm not going to lie. But probably just silly little corner cuts, 3 second here and there. But I wouldn't be surprised. Brandon probably will do the hard soft. He's got Maz on his back actually, who will also have to pit again at some point very soon.
Definitely,
so they're going to end up being on the same strategy.
I'd imagine we will see DJ in probably lap 18, maybe go to lap 20, maybe lap 18, 19 for a set of mediums or soft. Probably mediums is going to go that early, but I mean, the race.
I do think this VSC, the VSC hasn't helped him. Tell you that.
I don't know. I think he would still be on course where he'd want to be. Obviously, Beefy now 3.3 behind Maz, and that's 5. All right.
Either way, he's had an incredible race. No matter if he finishes in the top 5 or it's been a show that he's performed here. Currently sitting in P1 from P14 with 1 pit stop. That'll put him probably just behind Gods at the moment. Gods is going to go to the end. Aravic will have to pit again, so. He's going to have to make 1 or 2 overtakes, and he could get a P2 here, if I'm being honest.
Definitely, yeah.
He does have to also be aware that Mars is here, Kurt Boy's here. These guys are going to be wanting to possibly make the undercut, or they are on fresher tyres as well, so he's going to be under attack by them very soon as well. I am curious where Madden's gone, actually. Madden has pitted onto new hards. So he is down behind Gods, about 7 seconds.
Yeah.
kind of out of the question at the moment, I would assume. But there we go. Mars in the pits. And I'm just going to keep on board and see what he's going to fit. And it's a new fresh set of mediums for Mars. He's going to be coming out behind Gods and Aravik. Going to be in front of Madden just about, but obviously Madden's not going to be sitting around and just letting him have that.
No, definitely. Big thing now is that Gobert's got Race Avocado in front.
Well, Racer Avocado hasn't had the best of weekends in terms of ability, and that's Sloth out. He's lost it again on that right-hander, and that's just... I don't know what to say. As a VSC now, a bad day turned into a horrible one, really, for the Alfa Romeo driver. He possibly lost his head when he lost the front wing, and obviously that's the effects, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. And you know, it does happen. But DJ now does need to get to the pit lane quickly so he can box under this VSC. But it's unfortunate for Sloth, but must have just lost his head a little bit and tried overdriving. And unfortunately just got caught out.
Yeah, I think DJ, if he does pit now, which he definitely should be, under this VSC, which he doesn't, which I do believe is an error, if I'm being honest. You do need at this point as much, but he's going to be going for those softs, isn't he? As NUF1 does pit under this VSC right at the end, so maybe not gaining as much as he'd like to, but he is going to gain maybe a couple of seconds.
Oh, definitely. But this is going to be interesting now because obviously who boxed? Mars did box and Mood boxed as well. So a few guys did. DJ's got a penalty now as well. I ain't gonna help him.
No, he's thrown it away a little bit here. Terms of strategy, the strategies haven't been the best called today. I mean, the only person I can really think has absolutely nailed it is Beefy.
Definitely, it's kind of Beefy's race to lose from here on in.
Oh yeah, massively. But this is exactly what he's been doing all season, hasn't it? Not necessarily always the quickest man on track, but he's managed to make himself, the strat has either been perfect or it's just gone his way with incidents, or the VSC, or just consistency. It's what's really made him a champion. And I do think he might finish this race off with a win and just really show us why he is the champion and why he deserves his seat in GP1 next season.
Yeah, no, 100%.
No, he's looked very, very, very good now. DJ Death Dragon is in the pits, and FIFA Beefy now going past him now and past Maz, and he's going to come a long way. He's going to come out a long way behind.
Oh, hang on. DJ's having a drive-through. No, DJ's having a drive-through.
That's his race pretty much over. Oh no, he's sped under the VSC, hasn't he?
Yeah, he got a drive-through.
That's a calamity for him there.
That is unlucky, but you see Maz now all over the back of Beefy. Maz will have to box again, but I just don't think Gobert's got it in him because he's going to have to box again as well. I still think DJ can get on those soft tyres, he could cause a problem towards the back end. Maybe snatch a third, P3.
Yeah, he could actually, because obviously DJ Death Dragon's kind of out of the question now. He's got to pit again. He's had a drive-through. He's down into P7. Gobert's going to have to pit again with his strategy, which wasn't necessarily the wisest, but then Gods is going to go to the end. Maz has got... he's got it all to lose, really, hasn't he?
Oh, 100%.
In terms of P3. Well, I don't know, actually. The two hard compound runners, these guys are going to go to the end. And I think FIFA Beefy might have a little bit of a race on his hands.
He just needs to pump well, pumping a few lap times now. And hopefully those two battles. Maz is boxed for probably a set of soft tyres. Where's DJ? DJ boxing now as well. I'd imagine a set of softs on those as well.
Maz has gone on for a fresh set of mediums.
Bold. I wouldn't personally. I'd be on fresh softs. You can get 8 laps. He just doesn't think they
can last. And NUF1 has just set the fastest lap of the race. He's out with a man with a mission at the moment. And I tell you what, he could be on for a good position.
Definitely DJ on softs. But remember, Gobert still has to box again. And he's going to lose a hell of a lot of time.
And it's not paid off for him. And he is down into P13. Obviously his teammate about 54 seconds behind him, but
no, I think personally DJ will be there or thereabouts. He's going for a move. Oh, it looked like he's going to go for a move Ryan Van Doom. Gobert starts to box though, remember. And that will help DJ, that will help Racer Avocado, that will help Maz. They will all come out probably
DJ is going for that
him.
move. And he is going to go round the outside of Ryan Van Doom.
And look at the traction, look at the traction. Yeah, but look at the traction. It's the soft tyres coming into effect. I love that camera
angle I just had out the helicopter view. Love that view.
It's a nice one. Shame we didn't get that for the stream, really.
Yeah.
But DJ now closing up to the back of Energetics. So DJ on a mission.
Charge, isn't he?
This is the soft tyres coming right into it. Go back.
And there you go, straight through. Energetics not fighting that at all.
Gobert's in trouble. Gobert's in trouble. He needed to box that last lap. I don't think he's got enough time in him.
Well, he could have a puncture on his hands because I think he's going to try and go to the end.
He can't. He started on mediums. He hasn't been on any other tyre.
He did.
He's got medium.
He's going to have to pit. No, that's an error. Which, yeah, strategy-wise, he's not been the best on this season, but yeah, Beefy now closing up to the back of Multi-Barrack, and then he's got to gain another 2 seconds to Kurtboy. And these two, actually, we've not seen at all Multi-Barrack and Kurtboy, and they've snuck their way up into 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's quite impressive the way they're driving at the moment as well. Just nice and smooth, not really doing anything wrong, but Beefy.
And Ryan Van Doom now past Energetics. Energetics just not enjoying himself out here today. Obviously Bahrain isn't a track he likes at all, and you can tell that he's struggling.
100%. Go back to those medium tyres, just don't seem like they've got any life in them. He's not really closing that much. As we have got Energetics round, he's in a wall, but he's managed to get going pretty quickly again. So Energetics, I don't know if he's got wing damage or not. It doesn't look like he has. He'll just carry on his way there. DJ currently closing up to the back of Race Avocado. There's Gobert now in the pit lane.
Beefy going side by side with Multi-Barrack. Multi-Barrack is going to be defending. Beefy going to get through. And is he going to have it done? He's going to have it done by turn 4. And I'll tell you what, he's on a charge. He's got five lap fresher hards. Their hards are probably on the edge of what's acceptable to a puncture, but they'll be making it to the end, I would assume. Not without a risk though.
Oh, definitely.
Kurtboy and Multi.
Gobert pitted and he's out in P10. That's how much that's cost him.
Yeah, he's going to be going for those fastest laps. He's got out in front of DJ, but obviously DJ had a drive-through. But no, Gobert's strategy has cost him massively. He could have been literally on the back of FIFA Beefy today, and he's pretty much the other side of the track. Yeah,
that is a poor strategy choice by Gobert there to go double mediums when the right call was the medium hard. It was the right time to box for those hard tyres. It's unlucky, but it's just a learning curve.
Stuff you learn from, isn't it? It looks like Racer Avocado, sorry, completely blanked me. Is going to be looking for the move on Maz as well, probably on the next straight when he gets the DRS. As Racer Avocado is on fresh sauce. Gobert is going to be closing up to the back of Maz as well. Here we go. And straight through is there's two cars.
Energetics around.
I'm not sure if there's contact between those two. Neither one seems to have damage. But Energetic's making the same mistake on the same corner twice in a row now. I think he's probably lost his head, if I'm being honest.
Oh, definitely. They are probably about to be lapped. Beefy, 2.1 seconds away from Kurt Boy. Kurt Boy looks like he's driving really well. So it's going to be hard for people to close that 2.1 second gap in the last 5 laps.
Kurt Boy's an incredible driver, and if he'd had this form from the start, maybe he could have been in the shout of promotion for GP1, but he's going to have to sit in here for another season, and he's going to have to show us why he deserves that seat. As Gobert is going for the move on Maz, and isn't quite going to get it yet, but he's going to go for the outside run around Maz, and yet that's that done. Gobert is through.
It looked like they were both off the track, or something happened going into the downhill left, so it'd be interesting to see what actually happened there. But it's too little, too late.
Maestro and Energetic still battling. Obviously, it's not all lost. Energetic's just sending it, going very deep. Move getting a switchback. To be honest, they're at the back just for the wooden spoon, but it's still good battling.
It is, but you can have the top 3 coming through any second, so
yeah, they need to not get distracted. Here we go. As Move gets off the track, probably getting a bit of a mistake. Energetics having a possible run at him now, and they're going to have to get out of the way. Obviously Ghosting is on, so it's not too bad, but this battle is pretty important. I would hope they would pull out the way.
Only 1.5 seconds now, so Kurt Boy might be getting a little bit distracted with what's going on up the road.
Well, they are actually battling. They don't care. They want this wooden spoon. They don't want the wooden spoon, or do they? I don't know. But here we go. Move Maestro.
Kurt Boy could find himself with DRS here.
He could. It could benefit him actually.
He's got DRS. This is going to help him.
Move is defending from Energetics, and I tell you what, they're going to go side by side. Move getting that switch. They're getting some brilliant moves here, switchbacks and everything. But he's going to have to move out the way for the lapped cars, or is he just going to let them go through him as he has? He's just letting them maneuver their way through him. He's got Energetics. He's battling. I mean, I can't fault him. The ghosting is on. It's on for a reason. His Energetics does come back at him, but he can't make that move. This is actually the closest battle we've got on track at the moment, apart from Gobert and Avocado.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be lasting much longer, because you've got Madden just up the road, so I'd imagine Gobert will be getting that move done pretty quickly. But there's a yellow flag, and that is Race Avocado this round.
He's had an issue, and that is going to be DJ Death Dragon going straight through, and I don't believe he's going to be getting that position back. But no, these two are head and tail. Move Maestro, giving Energetics the room, giving him the respect. But here we go. That I do believe now, though, that Beefy's going to be getting the DRS, but this could be a bit distracting for him, if I'm being honest. Oh my god, Move Maestro has lost the car. Somehow the wheels are together, but that's going to be him into the pits, and there's nothing more he's able to do.
No, Beefy now only 1.1 behind with 2 laps left to go. So
he's going to be able to make this. I think Kurt Boy's driving extremely well. Maybe the DRS has actually helped Kurt Boy, maybe saved him in all certainty.
I think it has, but Kurt Boy does deserve it.
He's driven a
really
great race, Kurt Boy. Does look like Energetics is slowing down, possibly waiting for Move Maestro. Just trying to get a bit of a battle, and I can't blame him, if I'm being honest. He's keeping out the way of everyone else, and does want to battle.
Oh no, definitely.
He's not going to get any points. It's not. So why not? As Kurt Boy is looking very, very strong for this win, actually. But it looks like Beefy's going to get inside. Well, he's not actually. Beefy's going to be looking to get inside it, though, on the next straight, I would assume. This is looking very interesting. Neither one of them have a penalty either. I'm not sure on the warning situation, though, if either one of them's running tight, but obviously these two are very, very good drivers. Kurt Boy's strategy has been perfected here today. Multi-Barrack also the same for him. Just not got the same pace, has he?
No, not at all.
This is the only real battle we have, actually, at the moment. Everyone else is spaced out. But no, yeah, Energetics has waited up for Move Maestro, and they are going to get their little battle going on again. Yeah, they're back together.
Yeah,
just
definitely.
skipping merrily. But obviously this is the one we need to be focused on. Beefy and Kurt Boy. It's under a second now.
He's in the DRS. Beefy's going to get a couple of goes at this, and that's it. You know, he's going to get three more
maybe
goes,
three goes, yeah.
But he needs.
Actually, I could say 4 if he gets a good run out of the second to last corner, but it's a very difficult one to make. It's down to 8 attempts now. Beefy has to set himself up well, coming onto his back straight to get the run. Obviously, there's only 3 more DRS zones, and there's a second in it.
Beefy just needs the exit onto the start-finish race. I think he's kind of got it. He's gained time, a little bit of time.
He has.
But this is
we're
where
on
it
to
matters
the
now.
final lap of the race, and it's coming down to the wire with these two. I tell you what, Beefy's burning everything he's got. He's gained 4 tenths of a second in one straight, and we could be seeing a move happen very, very soon. Beefy looks like he's getting the better runs as well.
I think he is. I think Beefy's tyres are just showing. Obviously, they're 5 laps younger. They're just a little bit in better. They're just in better condition at the moment.
Well, he's got one more DRS zone. If Kurt Boy can hold him up, Kurt Boy's in a very good position to win this race. But obviously, it's not going to be easy. Beefy's no slouch.
But here,
Kurt Boy's got a poor exit. Beefy's got an amazing run.
It's just about setting him up here.
Here we go.
Here we go. This could be it.
Beefy's got the exit. Beefy's under a 10th now. They're both going to be burning absolutely everything. They're going to be going side by side. Oh my god.
A little bit of
contact.
A
little bit of contact.
Oh my. Kurt Boy, what's Kurt?
I'm not sure, but
I don't know. But Beefy
trying the most
Hang on.
aggressive defending, but on the last lap,
but Beefy is through.
Beefy's going to win this race, and I tell you what, Kurt Boy didn't half give him a battle.
I mean,
bit tough, but borderlines of fair.
Definitely,
I would assume, but
to come across the line, your GP2 champion in the last race of the season, your winner of the Bahrain Grand Prix is FIFA Beefy, followed by Kurt Boy.
It's only 4 attempts gap in the multi-Barrack in P3 as well. Very, very good race from him. Perfected the strategy gods in P4, followed closely by Mars, the 2 other promoted drivers, showing why they're going up. Energetics retiring from the race. Goba into P6 on penalties over NUF1. Madden across the line in P8. Maz coming across the line in P9. DJ Death Dragon very, very unlucky today in P10. Could have had an amazing result for him. Racer Avocado P11. Brian Van Doom in P12, and Move Maestro coming across the line in P13. So that's it for Season 2 of Division 2. It's been great.
Yeah, it's been an experience for all of us. Obviously, it was good fun doing comms. Obviously, I had Draft Das in early in the season. I had Silent Ace in here as well. And obviously to finish it off with your monotonous tones.
Well, I'm a lovely person to listen to if you want to kill yourself, but...
Yeah, I kind of do right now, but you know.
No, well, obviously the championship winning the final race this season, just showing us why he's won. brilliant race, and this Kurt boy just showing us that he's got the pace and he's got the ability to win the championship next season. But no, that's it for us for season 2. It's been good. It's been a long one, ups and downs, but we'll be seeing you back in season 3 with VIL Division 2.
Are we getting them in for interviews or what?
No, not Div 2.
Well, that'll do it here then. Thanks for tuning in for the season, and I hope to see you all next season.